Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja, Nigerian's capital city. I'm Comfort Amadu with the news. The headlines.
The main objective is for us to use science, technology and innovation to improve the standard of living.
Revised policy for Nigerian science, technology and innovation sector gets approval from Federal Executive Council. President Buhari expected to sign the long-awaited Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022 this Friday. ECOWAS commences construction of regional power line to connect member states. New Zamfara State Deputy Governor sworn in. All is set as President Buhari arrives Nassau State for a two-day working visit today. And during the visit, the president is expected to inaugurate some projects. Now standing by to give us more on the president's visit is Tijani Aliyu, who is joining us via a telephone call. Good morning, Tijani.
Good morning.
All right, tell us what's the mood right now in Nassau State as you're expecting the president.
The mood here in Nassau State is that of excitement. The people of Nassau State are excited to receive the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, so what project will the President be inaugurating during his visit, and what does it translate for the people of the state?
There are numerous projects that the President will inaugurate, like the Nassau State Airport. We have both terminals, both in Kefi and Lafia, Skill Acquisition Center, Power Substation, among numerous projects. We have, he's going to be on a 2 days visit.
Okay.
The first day today, he will be in Lafia, while tomorrow we inaugurate some numerous projects in Kefi, like the Kefi Square and shopping mall, which was built by the present administration.
All right, thank you so much, Tijani Aliyu. We'll be hooking up to get more details from you as a series of events unfold in Nassau State.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, the Federal Executive Council has approved the revised policy for Nigerian science, technology and innovation sector. This is to enable the country keep pace with the new and emerging technological advancement globally. Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Bonaya Onu, announced this at a media briefing after the meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Let's get details from State House correspondent Adam Sambo.
Records show that Nigeria's science, technology and innovation policy was put in place in 2012. Since then, there have been without doubt tremendous advances in the critical economic sector all over the world. And determined to ensure that the country remain in tune with the changing times, the Federal Executive Council considered and approved the revised policy on science, technology and innovation.
The main objective is for us to use science, technology and innovation to improve the standard of living of our citizens. And this we can get if our nation becomes more prosperous and our economy is more globally competitive. We would like to see Nigeria using this policy to be one of the top scientific powers in the world.
Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola secured the approval of the council for the termination and re-award of contract for the 49-kilometer section of Abaji-Cotton-Karfe Road as part of the Abuja-Lokoja Highway at 56.175 billion naira.
The second memo was for the revision of the contract sum of the Afon-Aboto Oyo Boundary Road in Kwara from 3,060 million to 3,311 million to enable the contractor make provision for drains to replace unsuitable material and to reconstruct damaged shoulders of the road, as well as accommodate some variation in prices.
Meanwhile, the council was formally briefed on the results recently released by the National Bureau of Statistics on the performance of Nigeria's economy in the year 2021.
According to the report, Nigeria's GDP grew by 3.4% in 2021 compared to minus 1.92% in 2020, which is the strongest growth so far recorded in 7 years since 2015. What those numbers show is that there's a steady progress that is being made. But whether it is far-reaching enough is a different ball game. And that's why you see in the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, we are looking for a growth rate of an average of 5%. We haven't gotten there yet, but is beginning to move towards that trajectory.
In the meantime, over 2 billion naira revised estimated total cost was approved by the council for the supply of cattle for Taraba State under the Emergency Agricultural Intervention Scheme.
This is a special emergency intervention that was supposed to have been done in 2018 for states that are being affected by conflicts and insurgency. But due to some reasons and the COVID and other issues, we're just able to bring it to council today. The second memo is on the National Action Plan on Human Trafficking. This is also a memo that's going to guide our work on how to curb the menace.
6 new national commissioners have been sworn in to fill in existing vacancies in the Independent National Electoral Commission. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony before presiding over the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo again reports.
The new INEC National Commissioners comprise 2 returning for a second term in office and 4 newly appointed, all of them nominated by President Muhammadu Buhari and confirmed to be of unquestionable integrity by the Senate after a thorough screening exercise. The returnees are Mohammed Kudu Haruna from Niger State and May Abamuche Mbu from Delta State. Those appointed for the first time are Ukwegbu Kenneth Namdi from Abia, retired Major General Abubakar Modibo Alkali Adamawa, Professor Rhoda Habo Gumus Bayelsa, and Sam Olugbadego Olumekun Ondo State.
Congratulations.
President Muhammadu Buhari did not make any further comment at the swearing-in ceremony witnessed by Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker Femi Bajabiamila, as well as the chairman of the Senate and House committees on INEC. The new national commissioners are, however, not unmindful of the high expectations of Nigerians and therefore promised to live above board in the discharge of their responsibilities.
We feel honored that we've been nominated as national commissioners, and we'll make sure that we meet the public expectations and the expectations of the president for a free, fair and credible election.
We want to assure Nigerians that we will deliver on a very, very clean election come 2023.
We will key in to the mission and vision of INEC, and you just saw us taking an oath. So that oath guides us to ensure that Nigerians get the best in INEC. The yearning and aspiration of Nigeria will be fulfilled, inshallah.
For INEC Chairman Professor Mahamoud Yakubu, the swearing-in of the new national commissioners was a good day for the commission.
It's coming 3 days to by-elections in 4 states of the Federation, and as we plan for the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections, and then as we continue to prepare for the 2023 general elections. We will go on firing on all cylinders now that we have the full complement of commissioners, and Nigerians should expect the best out of the commission.
Founded in 1998 and backed by the 1999 Constitution as amended, INEC has a mission to serve as independent and effective electoral management body committed to the conduct of free, fair, transparent and credible elections. This is to sustain Nigeria's democracy and indeed the desired democratic culture. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And yes, they have sworn to pledge allegiance to the country with the Bible and Quran in their hands as they took to the position they've been given. Now let's get details from Mie Ogidi, who was at the INEC headquarters and reports that the reception was quite extraordinary because one of the national commissioners has broken a jinx within the INEC workforce.
The coaster bus cruised in from the presidential villa to the INEC headquarters. The atmosphere quite welcoming. Door opened. The chairman of INEC emerged. A cheering crowd waiting. I know who you are waiting. It's Ken and not me, the INEC chair told his staff. But who is Ken? I will tell you later. Not a day of long speeches, but hugs and selfies. 6 national commissioners, 2 returning, 4 new, and a resident electoral commissioner sworn in by the INEC chair. He is Olaniye, deployed to Ogun State as resident electoral commissioner.
As I welcome the new commissioners, I urge you to deploy your vast knowledge and diverse experiences to the service of the country as unbiased referees.
Outside the conference hall, there is an encouraging story to tell. That is the story of Ken I earlier promised to tell you. Kenneth Nnamdi Okwegu was posted to INEC in 1987 as NYC member. Lucky to be retained after service, grew to become a director of procurement INEC headquarters Abuja, and today sworn in as INEC National Commissioner. First INEC staff, both serving and retired, to be appointed as National Commissioner.
You know, we have about close to 17,000 staff in INEC. I'm carrying the burden of those 17,000. If I don't succeed, it's a failure of 17,000 people. It's not just about me, and I will never fail.
Hugs and prayers from excited staff to their senior colleague because the jinx broken. A ray of hope, the chances of them also attaining such height in the career getting brighter.
So I'm very happy, and I thank Mr. President for this wonderful appointment. And I also want to say that the appointment is a motivation to INEC staff.
And we hope in subsequent appointments, Mr. President will consider INEC staff with vast experience who are also versatile in the electoral process to fill in gaps.
Ken is keen on making them proud as he bids farewell to his former office in a rather emotion-laden mien. But he goes higher, so it's a good news for all. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
The new INEC commissioners pledging allegiance to the country there. In the meantime, barring any last-minute change, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to sign the long-awaited Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022 this Friday. Authoritative presidency sources confirmed that the president will be performing his duty of assenting to the bill at about 12 noon. Public anxiety had mounted in the last few weeks over President Buhari's delay in assenting to the amended bill, as some members of the public and some critical stakeholders have already concluded that he is withholding assent again. And the National Assembly transmitted the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022 to President Buhari on January 31st, a second time having reportedly revised the bill, which he withheld his assent too, and for some noted reasons. However, the president has yet to assent to the bill more than 20 days after it was transmitted to him, though he constitutionally has a 30-day window within which he is mandated to either assent or state reasons for not doing so. Sources close to the office of the president, however, revealed that arrangements have been finalized for the president to sign the amendment bill into law on Friday, and finally putting all anxiety to rest. President Buhari had withheld his assent to the bill in November 2021, citing the cost of conducting direct primary elections, security challenges, and possible manipulation of the electoral processes by political players as part of the reasons for his decision. He, however, gave some conditions to give his assent, prompting the lawmakers to rework the bill, which initially led to the emergence of two versions from the green and red chambers of the Assembly. The Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2022 has laid its report before the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, witnessed the laying of the report.
It's been hands-on for the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution. After a series of consultations, engagements and public hearing at both zonal and national centers, the committee led by the Deputy President of the Senate, who is also chairman of the committee, Ovie Omoagege, has concluded works on the draft copy and led it at plenary. First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, in company of Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, that of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and other top female government officials were in the chamber to witness the presentation.
Mr. President, I assume that she is here with the potential 37 new senators that will come into the Senate following the adoption of the want to create an affirmative action for more female parliamentarians in both chambers, in the Senate and the House and the state legislatures.
Senate passed the Maritime Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill, University Teaching Hospitals Reconstitution of Board Act Amendment Bill, and the Orthopedic Hospital Management Board Act Amendment Bill. The Federal Polytechnic Orozo Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Philip Aduda. The Federal Medical Center, Gada, Sokoto State Establishment Bill by Senator Ibrahim Gobir, and the Federal University Local Jar Teaching Hospital Establishment Bill by Senator Smart Adeyemi passed second reading.
And to balance the geographical spread of the higher institutions, as there exists no polytechnic in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in the North Central.
This bill, when passed, we have no immediate financial burden on the federal government treasury, as the facilities for the takeoff of the proposed teaching hospital, Mr. President, is the Federal Medical Center, Lokoja, that will be upgraded to the status of the teaching hospital.
Senate, through a motion by Senator Bala Ibn Allah, urged President Muhammadu Buhari to deploy more security agencies to parts of Kebbi State, battling with banditry and cattle rustling.
The Chief of Defense Staff to establish an operational base within the affected areas with a view to finding lasting solutions to the security challenges.
Worried by the poor state of maintenance culture in Nigeria, the Senate has begun the consideration of a bill that seeks to provide for mandatory public infrastructure maintenance. This was one of the 5 bills that were passed for first reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10, reaching you live on NTA News 24. More reports when we return, including ECOWAS commences construction of regional power line to connect member states. More of these and other reports when we return. Welcome back. The report on 68 bills seeking amendment to some sections of the Constitution is now before the House of Representatives, paving way for the conduct of voting on each of the bills. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that just as in the Senate, Nigerian's First Lady was at the Green Chamber as well to witness the exercise.
1999 to provide for the termination of tenure of certain elected officials on account of change of a political party and for different matters.
The outcome of the much-anticipated constitution review is at hand with the submission of the report by the Special Ad Hoc Committee. The thematic areas of the review cover national security, strengthening of institutions and reforms for the judiciary, local government and electoral matters. Some of the alterations seek power to summon the president or governor for the national and state assemblies, financial autonomy for the legislature, the judiciary and local councils, as well as independent candidature to contest elections. Bills seeking space for more women in decision-making attracted an entourage of Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari to witness the laying of the report.
Provide for special seat for women in National and State House Assembly and for different matters.
Thank you. There's still a lot of work to be done yet. We're still in the process, and there's still a lot of lobbying to be done on both houses. And by God's grace, we'll get through this one.
Voting on the bills will be conducted on the 2nd and 3rd of March 2022. Other considerations at plenary include the second reading of a bill to establish Unclaimed Financial Assets Agency and a bill to establish Federal Medical Center Zuru. Among motions adopted is the need for authorities to deploy fighter jets to parts of Kebbi State to combat kidnappers and bandits in their hideouts.
Bandits are moving in hundreds from village to village, house to house in Donkosagu and Sagawa local government of Kebbi State, in search of cattle to rustle, innocent civilians to kidnap, foodstuff to set ablaze, and women to rape.
Also adopted is the motion from Bello Kawuji appealing for assistance to victims of a recent fire disaster in Bagudu, and the motion from Ajibola Moraina seeking development of tourism potentials in Oyo State.
Economic activities at the market has virtually been grounded, leaving the victim financially handicapped and emotionally and physiologically distressed.
The hills situated in the town in the Barakwa Central local government area of Oyo State is gradually emerging as a new tourism center, as it has been attracting patronage from local and international tourists.
House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila emphasized the need for some sections of the media to desist being mischievous on happenings in Parliament.
We don't want mischief makers to misinterpret what happened. Honorable Michela is one of our very best legislators, one of our good ones.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And it was in continuation of her solidarity and support to gender parity that the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, was at Wednesday's plenary session at the two chambers of the National Assembly to observe the proceedings on issues related to women participation in governance and other decision-making processes. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Accompanied by the Ministers of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen, and that of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, and other Nigerian women, the First Lady was at the National Assembly to observe the proceedings at both chambers of Senate and the House of Representatives on issues of national importance. Specifically, the First Lady was concerned of the constitutional review on matters affecting the promotion of women inclusion in all affairs of national development, as submitted by various ad hoc committees of the National Assembly. The review for amendment of the 1999 Constitution on a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution to, among others, provide reserved quota for women and to also provide special seats for women in the National and State House of Assembly and to give due consideration for affirmative action for women in political party administration. The First Lady is optimistic that the bill, if passed into law, will go a long way towards enhancing the cause of women for the overall national development.
We are here this afternoon to peacefully observe the proceedings on constitutional review about women, and also to listen to the proceedings also concerning the 35 affirmative action about women and special additional seats for women in the National Assembly.
While acknowledging the presence and the doggedness of the First Lady in this direction, President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan and Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila assured the First Lady of doing everything possible within the ambit of the law to give due consideration to the bills in the best interest of the nation. This is the first time a serving First Lady of Nigeria is attending plenary session at both chambers of the National Assembly. I am Ali Kabir, NTA News.
And still from the Senate, the joint committees on downstream and upstream petroleum have begun the amendment of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 in a bid to foster national unity and inclusiveness of all Nigerians in the Petroleum Industry Act. National Assembly correspondent Mobalaji Moribirin completes the report.
After passage of the delayed Petroleum Industry Bill and signing into law, stakeholders have again converged to address grey areas to improve the laws. The proposed amendment seeks to balance geopolitical representation of the country in the Act.
Be rest assured that your contributions and concern, to the extent of its superiority, will be captured in the amendment.
I urge you to be exhaustive in your inputs, not just to enrich deliberations, but to create ground for a sustainable legal framework for the petroleum industry.
These are the summary of submissions.
The proposal to have zonal representation, we believe, is the right thing to do.
You cannot bring an outsider to come and supervise my oil. It doesn't work that way.
Those communities were not put as stakeholders, but look into the PIA and treat us as one's loved child.
We once again want to use this opportunity to request that we be added onto the board of the two agencies.
If the amendment scales through, the number of the non-executive members in the industry will increase from 2 to 6, such that each geopolitical zones of the country is represented. From the National Assembly, Mobolaji Moribiri, NTA News.
This news at 10 is reaching you live from Abuja on NTA News 24. Still ahead. New Zamfara State Deputy Governor sworn in. Details shortly.
Advertising your goods and services on the right channel gives you an edge over your competitors. NTA News 24 has all the platforms for your target audience. The station is on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46, StarTimes channel 101, and Free TV channel 703. With our digital format and wide range, we can reach your customers in next to no time. We are eager to promote your business, goods, and services. So partner with us for a very rewarding business experience. For more information, please call.